Hi, my name's Claire Needham. I'm a partner here at Audit. I'm here today with Chris Butt, who's going to talk to us about some of the changes to company size thresholds coming up and what impact that might have on a business. So Chris, do you want to give us an overview of those changes?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Companies Act financial size thresholds have been proposed to be increased for accounting periods commencing on or after the 1st of October 2024. That has the potential to bring a significant number of medium and large companies down the size threshold, which will reduce the impact of some of their reporting, both financially and narrative, as well as potentially reducing the number of businesses that need to have an external audit.
And I'm currently just over the thresholds for a small company. So does this mean I might not need an audit going forwards?
That's a definite possibility. But what I would stress is that every company needs to be looked at individually, and there's definitely circumstances where you may choose to continue to have an audit, even if theoretically there's thresholds to indicate that you don't. An audit is a really good way of making sure you've got assurance for your shareholders, in particular those businesses at the smaller end of the spectrum that are growing. We often see it as an increase in delegation of authority to management to make decisions, and then shareholders need an audit to get that comfort over the underlying numbers as they grow and become a little bit more divorced from actually running the business.
And are there options for me as a business other than an audit if I didn't want to have that?
There's many different ways that we can help you if you didn't want to have a full-scale audit. What we would say is an audit, it represents the gold standard of assurance that we can give. It is a statutory undertaking. But behind that, we can scale that back in many different ways to give you different levels of assurance that you may or may not want for the different purposes that you can get from that. And that's something that we offer for a number of our clients that are just under that threshold and bridging towards needing their first statutory audit.
Do you want to tell me about those different types of assurance that can be provided?
Yeah, there's a number of different kinds. So we can give you a review opinion, which is scaled back from an audit and will principally be around analytical review of the numbers, and will give you some assurance over what's in the P&L and balance sheet, but not to the same rigour that you would experience from an audit. This can be really useful as you're approaching the audit thresholds because you get your management team and your finance team in particular used to experiencing some of the questions we might ask from the purpose of an audit, and it gives you some private assurance as to what's in the books and records. Secondly, we could do a different level of assurance called an assurance report, where we could pick out something specific. For example, we quite often tackle early on in the business growth cycle assurance over stock, for example, or revenue recognition, to make sure that the practices you're putting in place as you grow are fit for purpose for you as you go through that growth trajectory. Again, that's a report to management, but you can share it and get some extra assurance from it. And finally, something that we often do and regularly pick up with clients is something called agreed upon procedures, where we'll agree with you a specific scope, homing in on something that you consider to be a specific risk, and we can add a level of credibility to that for whatever purpose it might be. It might be a borrowing requirement, it might be a specific concern of a shareholder, or even a customer of yours wanting some extra assurance.
Thanks, Chris, for that insight. If you do have any questions or need any help in terms of this, please get in touch with either Chris or myself or your usual Audit advisor.